Hello everyone, here's what's coming up tonight on News Center Now. The flooding and ice taking a toll on Acadia National Park, but Mainers have found a way to make the most of it.
Plus, if you're heading out to Minnesota for the Super Bowl, you're gonna want your Wi-Fi. There's a Maine company that will help with that. Also, a father-son military reunion. You don't want to miss that.
This is News Center Now. Two kids will be asked to testify at their father's murder trial. Hello everyone, I'm Lindsay Mills.
And I'm Lee Goldberg. Prosecutors say the children of Anthony Lang were witnesses to a murder, although they did not see the moments when Anthony Lang allegedly shot and killed the boy's mother.
That he believes that if his dad is released from jail, his dad will come after him and his brother, because he and his brother are witnesses to the murder of their mother.
Today, a judge denied bail for Anthony Lang. He is charged with shooting and killing his longtime partner and the mother of his children, Soka Kuhn. The 36-year-old woman was shot 5 times inside her home earlier this month. Lang is claiming self-defense, telling investigators that Kuhn came at him with a knife. The couple has 2 sons, ages 10 and 15. We'll have much more on that coming up on News Center at 5:30 and 6 o'clock.
And it was revealed in court today that Kuhn's 15-year-old son called 911 and told dispatchers that his father killed his mother. What kind of effect can witnessing a domestic violence crime have on children? Christina Rex is here with Rebecca Brown, a licensed clinical social worker who specializes in children's trauma.
Thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate you being here, especially to talk about such a difficult topic.
Yeah.
So, you know, the obvious question, to witness a parent die, especially in, you know, what is possibly a horrible crime, what kind of effect can that have on a kid?
Yeah, so I think the first point we want to make is that children are really resilient and they do have the ability to heal and thrive following even horrific exposure to violence and interpersonal violence. And so, you know, in terms of kids' resiliency, they do have the ability, but they often rely on the support of the adults and protective caregivers around them to do that healing. And so it can have significant impacts. I mean, obviously, like you said, the death of a parent is significant. The death as a result of interpersonal violence and to witnessed potentially parts of that violence or violence leading up to that event could have significant impact.
You said in a situation like that, you know, kids often rely on the adults in their lives. In a situation where domestic violence is involved, you know, if a kid witnesses one parent mistreat another, how does that change their relationship, you know, with that parent who did the mistreatment?
Yeah, and it's very significant in terms of the exposure to domestic violence. One, because when the very parent who's supposed to be a source of safety and security then becomes the source of threat and danger, that can have both short-term and long-term impacts on a child. And so there's sometimes a misnomer, this idea that potentially if children don't directly experience violence against themselves, that that's somehow not as harmful. But what we know about exposure to domestic violence is that it has significant impact on children, or can. Again, knowing that kids can heal and thrive following those events, but that the impact can be significant.
What about when court becomes involved? You know, the possibility that, you know, you didn't just witness this horrifying event, but then you have to relive it possibly on a witness stand. That's got to be so tough for, you know, a 10-year-old.
Yeah, I think for some kids, yes. I think every child is different, and you know, kids can again be prepared to go to court, tell their story with support of the adults around them. For some kids, you're right, it could be really scary, and you know, it's our responsibility as systems to provide supports for kids in place as they go through that process. For other kids, you know, there may be some no power in hearing their voice heard. So it's hard to say without thinking about the individual child and the context in which they're going to court.
Of course, and you say kids are strong and resilient. We're actually going to continue to have that conversation as well as take any questions you guys might have on Facebook during our commercial break, so certainly write in with those. For now, Lee and Lindsay, back to you.
All right, Rebecca and Christina, thank you very much. Eliminating so-called food shaming in Maine schools.
That's the focus of a proposed bill said to make sure students get lunch regardless of whether or not they pay for it. Lawmakers are considering legislation that would ban schools from denying a student a meal, even if their lunch account is deep in the red. When talking about a student's meal debt, school officials would be required to reach out to parents directly instead of talking to a student about it. It also requires the school to take action to help the parent or guardian of a student who can't pay for lunch. Now, this is separate from the National School Lunch Program, which provides low-cost or free lunches to children every day. We want to know your thoughts on this proposed bill. Comment now on our Facebook live stream.
All right, so the weather today, a bit of an identity crisis. Lots of layers, but also sunglasses, chilly and sunny.
Chilly but bright. Jessica Conley, you're very bright. You've got a bright personality, not so chilly.
Yeah, not so chilly most of the time, right? Today's high temperatures weren't very impressive. We were actually right around normal for this time of year. 25 was a high today in Bangor, 29 for Waterville. Portland was able to make it up to 30 degrees. If you're wanting more of a warm up, just gotta wait till tomorrow. We'll be in the low to mid 40s both Saturday and Sunday. However, warmer temperatures mean we'll have more clouds. Well, this weekend at least we'll see some clouds around both days. Even the chance for a shower Saturday night into early on Sunday. This is a look at our current wind chills. A little bit of a breeze with these low temperatures can make it feel even colder. In Greenville right now it feels like 0. Feels like 3 degrees right now in Caribou. Bangor feels like 8 degrees. In Waterville it feels like about 20 degrees. Just make sure you are dressing warm if you are out and about for tonight. Satellite radar shows mostly clear skies. There's an area of high pressure right about here. It is moving off to the east, and we'll see winds coming out of the southwest as we head into the day tomorrow, and that means again much warmer temperatures. Here's a quick look at your weekend sneak peek. Again, pretty impressive temperatures both days. Should stay pretty dry with the only exception of maybe a shower early Sunday morning. Guys?
All right, that looks great. Thank you very much, Jessica. The National Park Service says recent winter storms and flooding encased several buildings and structures at Acadia National Park in some really thick ice. This has damaged some of the park's most beloved places.
The Park Service says the extent is unknown, but the cold temperatures caused much of the floodwater to freeze and remain frozen. As News Center's Tennyson Coleman reports, officials aren't sure if they'll be able to further survey the damage.
Have you ever seen anything like this here at Acadia?
Nope.
You'd almost have to see it to believe it.
This is incredible.
Parts of Acadia National Park encased in nearly a foot of ice thanks to recent flooding and freezing temps. This includes beloved attractions such as the Cire de Mont Nature Center, the Wild Gardens, and the Spring House. Even restrooms, phone booths, and parking signs did not escape the chilling fate.
It doesn't happen very often. It's the first time anyone's sort of been here like this.
But despite all this, some people just can't stay away.
And apparently I did not get the memo. I am not wearing skates, but there are folks out here ice skating.
Gee, we lost all our snow, but now we're out here skating through the trees. I mean, how often can you do that?
These skaters have a lot of room to work with. In some places, the icy trails just seem to go on and on.
I mean, the ice is glassy smooth and you're skating in and around the trees, moving at rates of speed you could never walk.
You can't control Mother Nature, but these folks say that's what's great about Maine, making the best of whatever nature brings.
I mean, it allows access and a perspective that you would never normally see.
Please,
now, folks,
please sharpen your skates if you were at Acadia National Park skiing through the forest, because if you're going back on a regular rink after that, you're going to have a flat blade.
You're going down. Yeah. So the folks there do hope that the flooding damage is minimal. A lot of the people out there today are from Bar Harbor, so it is right in their very own backyard, like a big old winter wonderland.
I know, I always wanted a backyard rink. Well, the Park Service says this type of flooding is known to experts as a 20-year flood event, but it has happened more than once recently. If it continues to happen, they say they may have to look at moving some of the facilities to higher ground.
All right, still to come. If you upload a Super Bowl selfie from Minnesota, you can thank a Maine company for that.
Don't get the complaints about hot water and clean towels anymore. It's always Wi-Fi.
How a tech company from the Pine Tree State is helping expand the broadband of U.S. Bank Stadium.
Plus, a father and son reunited. The emotional moment later on Now.
Brady, we are trying to get you out of this game. Because you're the one that is making every team lose. And Cox, you need to take him out.
This Eagles fan is young, but he is wise. Do they really have a chance when Tom Brady takes the field? He was at a signing event in Philadelphia for Fletcher Cox, one of the team's most popular players. This kid walked right up to the defensive tackle and told Fletcher what the Eagles need to do to win a ring: take out TB12. Whether or not they can actually get it done is, of course, a different story.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so you know that spinning wheel of death? We all know it, right? It happens when your device warns you it just can't connect to the internet.
Oh, that spinning wheel of death.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Not like a game show.
Okay.
That one.
Or what goes on in my head when, I'm seeing Tweety birds? No. One Maine company has a very important task when it comes to internet connection, and it's helping Patriots fans upload their Super Bowl selfies. Chris Costa joins us now. Chris, this company is in Minnesota right now.
Yeah, Lee and Lindsay, Canyon Networks is based in Newport, but they have a team of employees in Minneapolis. They're helping to upgrade the Wi-Fi at hotels all around the city, preparing for hundreds of thousands of people to hit the town and tell everyone about it on social media. Scores of fans flooding the Minneapolis streets for the Super Bowl will rely on the work of one Maine company.
I've got all this new equipment that I've had to install this week.
Dean Harrington works for Canyon Networks, the Newport-based company installing Wi-Fi upgrades to downtown area hotels.
To keep up with the social networking.
They've increased one hotel's capabilities from 20 access points up to 60.
The older equipment just can't handle those amount of users. Every user nowadays probably has 3 devices: a phone, a tablet, a laptop, and 2 people in a room. That's 6 devices, and it just expands from there and there. So these new devices will allow a lot more coverage.
Minneapolis has added more than 1,000 hotel rooms ahead of Super Bowl 52 at US Bank Stadium. They're expecting 1 million people over 10 days.
A hotel lasts at least 30 years or is financed over 30 years, and people don't make that kind of investment for a 10-day event. However, it may affect the timing and it may affect the interest in the market, but it's longer term than that.
These hotels don't get the complaints about hot water and clean towels anymore. It's always Wi-Fi. And I've installed 4 managed switches.
Dean and his co-workers have never performed these upgrades for a Super Bowl, but this isn't their first time working a big event. They assisted in upgrades for President Trump's inaugural ball.
They weren't probably going to let me in, but I thought about sneaking in, but figured the security would be a little too tight.
In the days where social media rules, these upgrades will help fans do it for the gram and document every memory along the way. Canyon Networks also has a connection with the New England Patriots. They helped with the Wi-Fi upgrades at Gillette Stadium as well. And don't forget, our March to Minnesota team is headed to Super Bowl 52. We will be live in Minneapolis starting on Tuesday, on air, online, and on our social media pages. So I'll make sure to take a couple selfies for you, Lee.
Oh, there'll be more than a couple. All right, thank you, sir. Soldier homecomings always bring out the waterworks.
Definitely pretty emotional. Being out there in the parking lot, knowing that I'm about to walk in and see my son for the first time in 6 months.
Next on Now, a father-son reunion you won't want to miss.
And there may be some tears of joy when you see this weekend weather forecast. Jess Conley maps it out next. It's video that never gets old. Someone in the military returns home to see their spouse or child, and when those videos appear, you want to grab a tissue.
I mean, right? I miss my kids when I'm at work for the day. I can't imagine being gone for days or weeks or months. Well, one Maine family from Augusta had a very special reunion yesterday. Technical Sergeant Jared McGoldrick had been waiting a long time to hold his 4-year-old son, Colin. After spending 10 years in the Coast Guard, McGoldrick joined the Air National Guard. Back in July, he was deployed for the first time, 6 months in Kuwait. When it was time to come home, the place to reunite was clear.
I dropped him off here at daycare before I left, and I was like, well, it'd be kind of cool if when I came back, picked him up at daycare. Kind of like I just left for the day, basically.
To the flag of the United States of America.
Kids Count Child Care was ready and waiting for the moment. The kids were practicing the Pledge of Allegiance. Then Jared walked through the door.
Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, Colin, who's that?
I knew I was going to be emotional. I knew that pretty much the second I saw him, I was going to cry. I mean, because I knew I missed him so much.
It was emotional for all of us. We all started crying as soon as we saw Dad walk in, and his eyes were already red, so we all started crying. The kids were excited to be, you know, part of holding the flag.
Now, while he was deployed, Jared missed Colin's birthday, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, says he is very excited to make up for lost time now that he is home. And I was there today, and Colin was like those koala bears, you know, and was just like hanging on to Dad. Like, I am not letting go.
So cute.
Yeah, it was great.
So sweet.
That's awesome.
All right, we're excited about this weekend forecast.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. A little bit of a warm up so we can get some of the ice melted that's still out there everywhere. A few sprinkles possible Sunday morning. That's in the form of rain because temperatures will be so warm. Then we're looking at the possibility of a snowstorm as we get into next week. Our current temperatures right now on the cool side today. This really isn't that much cooler than where we normally are at this time of year. 18 in Calais, 22 in Bar Harbor, Augusta at 24, Lewiston at 23, Portland at 27 right now. And we'll cool off only a little bit overnight tonight. We'll start on the mild side tomorrow, and then we'll be able to warm up quite a bit tomorrow afternoon. Not too bad with the winds, although where it is breezy, it's making things feel a lot cooler. Look at some of the current wind chills. Caribou feels like just 3 degrees right now, and in Bangor it feels like just 8 degrees. So certainly the wind chill is an issue in some spots. As it warms up this weekend, we won't have to talk about it or even think about it. So that's good news. Satellite radar shows mostly clear skies, and that's what we'll have overnight tonight. But tomorrow we will see clouds start to increase as the high pressure system that's pretty much on top of us right now continues to move to the east. We'll also see those winds shift and come out of the southwest. That's where all the warm air is, so that'll filter into our area. And again, it's looking like we'll warm up quite a bit for tomorrow. Tonight, if you're out and about, temperatures only in the teens, so it is going to be chilly through the overnight hours. Make sure to dress nice and warm. Look at tomorrow, though. It's actually starting to warm up early tomorrow morning. Temperatures along the coast, upper 20s, lower 30s. Farther inland, we're in the low to mid 20s for the morning, and then we warm up quite a bit as we get into Saturday afternoon. Look at some of these highs. Temperatures making it all the way into the upper 30s and low to mid 40s at the coast. Again, the clouds around, though, for most of the day tomorrow. And then overnight Saturday into early Sunday, frontal system moves through. You can see some showers. This is at 7 o'clock on Sunday morning, especially along the coastline. It's nothing that's going to ruin the day, though, because you can see once we get into Sunday afternoon, most of us will start to dry out and those temperatures will still stay warm. So if you have anything to do outside, should be a good weekend for it. By Monday, temperatures cool off. We're back into more winter-like weather for the day on Monday. Again, these are the highs for tomorrow. Beautiful 40 in Bangor, around 44 in Portland for tomorrow. And as far as those rainfall amounts go this weekend, most of us stay under 1/10 of an inch. So just a few showers, again, early Sunday morning. Here's your marine forecast for tomorrow. Those seas increase tomorrow afternoon to 7 to 10 feet. There's a small craft advisory that's in effect for Saturday into the day on Sunday. All right, let's go through the 7-day forecast here. Again, both Saturday and Sunday, temperatures will top out in the low to mid 40s. A very mild weekend, about 10 to 15 degrees above where we usually are at this time of year. Monday, it's cooling off again. Tuesday, we're watching for a storm system. It looks like right now some of us will see some snow. Models keep kind of going back and forth, but we're keeping an eye on that too. Something to think about for the Tuesday morning commute. Wednesday looks sunny, and as we get into the end of the week, a big warm up again. Thursday, we're close to 40, and it looks like Friday we will be close to 50 degrees.
How about that?
So the weekends are trending regularly warmer.
I know,
which is not a bad thing.
It's not bad. Yeah. I kind of enjoy it.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Well done. All right.
Thanks.
Update on this Dr. Nasser gymnastics story. We've been talking about years and years of abuse and secrecy. More and more people now being held responsible for protecting Dr. Nasser.
That's right. Every single member of the USA Gymnastics Executive Board is expected to resign following the request of the United States Olympic Committee. Nasser will spend the rest of his life in prison, convicted of molesting several children, many of whom he treated as the official doctor of USA Gymnastics. The U.S. Olympic Committee threatened to take down the entire operation if the board didn't resign today. They are expected to comply. And today, the athletic director of Michigan State University stepped down. Nasser assaulted several victims while treating patients at the university. The AD thought his resignation would help the survivors heal, although he insists he knew nothing of the assaults.
Let me be clear that in retirement, I will fully cooperate with these and any other investigations. As a university, We must focus on the healing of the survivors and our entire community.
Now, a Detroit News investigation found that 14 sexual assault complaints were filed with the university.
Okay, Cindy Williams is here now with a first look at what's coming up at 5:30. Hey, Cindy.
Hi, guys. Petition season has begun, and today boxes and boxes of signatures were presented in Augusta with the hope that free home care for the elderly will soon be available to everyone in Maine. Plus, President Trump is trying to bring the focus to world economics, but the revelation that he may have tried to fire special counsel Robert Mueller overshadowed the international talks. We're going to have details on all that in just a few minutes on News Center at 5:30. Back to you.
All right, Cindy, sounds good. Well, another way cell phones are destroying our lives. Katie Ortiz is in next with Social Stop, telling us about the diagnosis text neck.
Text neck. Say that 10 times fast. It's a medical issue that people are suffering from, according to the Spine Journal. But a new report from the New York Times looks into how bowing our heads down to look at our phones not only impacts us health-wise, but also socially. Now, for starters, the average human head weighs 10 to 12 pounds. But when you look down at your phone, it adds 60 pounds of pressure. And we see this everywhere. Restaurants, on your commute to work, at work. I know I'm really guilty of it. So shockingly, doctors and experts say to live in the moment, talk to each other, and more importantly, look up. But before you do, you should really check out the ALS Pepper Challenge because it's for a good cause. Now, if you remember the Ice Bucket Challenge, people all over the world had buckets of ice water poured over their heads, pledging to donate to ALS research and challenging others to do the same. Now, this go around, you're eating a hot pepper, and I think we'd all rather that you record yourselves eating a hot pepper than Tide Pods. Don't eat Tide Pods. Eat hot peppers and donate to ALS research. Life advice from KO.
We need to record a music video. I have an idea for us. We're going to do
a music video?
Yeah.
The light bulb just with Tide Pods.
Okay, so just in case you do have a craving for a Tide Pod and don't,
No.
please eat a donut instead.
There you go.
I didn't think we'd make a Tide Pod donut, but I also didn't think people would eat Tide Pods.
Well, thanks to the totally stupid and deadly, might we add, Tide Pod Challenge, a bakery in Virginia is blowing up on Facebook. The baker decided he wanted to bring awareness to the dangers of the Tide Pod Challenge by making this Tide Pod donut. It's delicious, it's sweet, they say, and there's no deadly side effects if you eat it. So there you go.
Put down your Tide Pod. Have a donut.
And a hot pepper. And fries.
No ghost peppers.
And go watch News Center at 5:30.
See you guys.